Hey people, it is Friday, June the 25th, and it is 12:17 in the afternoon, and it is 23 degrees Celsius, but feeling closer to 30 degrees with the humidex. And I'm here on Dundas Street West, just immediately west of Dufferin Street. And this is the western end of the Little Portugal neighborhood, which extends along Dundas and also along a portion of Colege Street before Colege Street transitions into Little Italy. So I thought I'd walk along this section of Dundas Street up to Lansdowne, and then I will head north to Colege and continue eastward along Colege Street through that section of Little Portugal. And I'm not sure how far I'll continue on along Colege Street. Maybe I'll go into Little Italy. Nilda. I can't say I've ever heard of a name called Nilda before.
We mostly use honey.
There's a nice neighborhood supermarket. So as you can see, outdoor dining is in full swing. We're almost at the end of this stage one of the reopening. And stage two will begin now at the end of June instead of after the long weekend at the beginning of July. They bumped it up by a whole 2 days.
Like they've never seen. Yeah. Well, it's right.
But according to the vaccination numbers right now, we qualify to be in stage 3 right now, which is a further reopening, which includes indoor dining. But no, they're not going to do that. They're going to make us wait, even though they were the ones that laid out the rules regarding vaccination rates, which we have met and surpassed. So I'm not sure why we have to wait, but that's the government for you. I think Ontario and Toronto continue to be the most severely locked down jurisdictions, not only in North America, but possibly the world. Most of the other places have already opened up far more than we have, even though they have lower vaccination rates and had higher case counts. So it is what it is. That's a cool old building there. I'm just glad there's not something like a Tim Hortons at the ground level. Kind of take away a bit of its authenticity. That there is an old school store for sure. Cigars and Coca-Cola. That's like straight out of 1957. That's the kind of place Ricky Ricardo would go. And here's Margueretta Street. I used to spend a lot of time on this street because this is where Meghan lived when she still lived in Toronto. You all might have seen Meghan in one of my recent live streams and a couple of pre-recorded videos. And there's the Night Owl Barber Shop. They will be allowed to reopen at the end of the month when we enter stage 2, 2 whole days early. There's St. Helens Catholic Church. That's quite an imposing building. Sad to see that old school store is no longer home confectionery. Wonder how long that place existed. Not sure what this gaggle of people is all about over here. We're coming to the end of the Dundas Street portion of Little Portugal. Yummy pizza and shawarma. Well, I'm not going to argue if they say it's yummy. Who am I to say it's not? So there you go, people. And Burrito Express. Look at that. 3 of my favorite things, because I'm sure you can get falafels at this shawarma place. So you have burritos, possibly falafels, and pizza. All in one convenient location. Alright, now so this is Lansdowne Avenue. This is just a short stint north to College Street. Guess I'll walk on this side for now. I am going to cross the street up ahead though. So now we're heading east on College Street. So we're still in Little Portugal. I wonder if this phone works. I'm going to guess no. I wonder if I can cross here. No, I don't think traffic's moving anytime in the next 2 seconds. See, it was 4 seconds. And here's Margueretta Street again. You know what? Let's just go take a look at the old place where I used to come and see Meghan before she shipped off to Guelph. It's just a few houses up here. Should probably like to get a look at the old place. Oh, somebody graduated. So here it is. And I see that elephant is still there. I always would notice that. And that was her bedroom window. So there we go. Meghan's old apartment. And these leaves are still dangling down. Alright, now I'm back on to College. I'll cross back to the other side. I think in every other video I've done walking along this part of College, I always tend to walk on this side of the street. So why not walk on the other side? Get a whole new point of view. There's St. Helen Catholic School. Looks like they have a old historic building with a newer addition tacked on. I'm just thinking I have to later on make a stop near Yonge and Queen before I head home. So maybe I'll sort of plan this walk to kind of veer southwards so I can eventually find my way to Queen Street. So I think I will take one of the residential streets south just to get a look at what the neighborhoods look like in this part of town. You gotta love this. Now what? Whatever that person was doing, it seemed wrong to me. Boulevard of Broken Seams. See, that guy's annoyed too. But cyclists are always annoyed in this city. So here we are back at Dufferin. Now I'm not going to take Dufferin. It's too much of a major street. I want to take more of a little neighborhood side street. And I don't think I can go all the way south along here. I think this, yeah, it's a dead end. So I won't go down there, even though it does look interesting. Now Gladstone does go all the way down, and I've never done a walk down this part of Gladstone, so let's do it. This is not quite a little intimate side street the way I was thinking, but I think it'll do. Because I think Gladstone up ahead does take on some of a more of an interesting character further south. And you can see the mix of housing styles here. We got some semi-detached. We have an old unit of a semi-detached and a new addition. I'm guessing they left the original structure of that side mostly intact and just sort of built that new square top on top rather than an entirely new build. Cadbury Museum and Tour Center. I'm guessing this at one time was a Cadbury chocolate facility. If that's the same Cadbury, it looks like the same logo. Yeah, welcome to the Gladstone Chocolate Factory. That's awesome. I don't think they're still making chocolate here though. Or are they? Do I smell chocolate? Now I'm thinking that I actually do smell chocolate. Maybe they do still make chocolate here. I'm almost positive I can smell chocolate right now, unless it's all in my head. It's playing tricks on me. St. Anne's Anglican Church. Oh yeah, I can definitely smell chocolate. Oh yeah. So this place is still a chocolate factory. That is awesome. I think the people who live around here are pretty lucky. I mean, they have to put up with all this constant noise, but they get to smell chocolate all the time. Yeah, you learn something new every day. How did I not know there was a functioning chocolate factory in the west end of Old Toronto? And look at this interesting street here. It's just a little dead-end street of row homes. It's very Toronto. Got a trio of bikes. Got a dude camping out on the sidewalk. Alright, now here we are back at Dundas Street. Not quite where we started. We started a bit further west than here. So let's continue south on Gladstone. And now the smell of chocolate has given way to something that smells like French toast to me. Which is another smell I love. So no complaints in this neighborhood as to the smells so far. There you can see the financial district. Here's another neat little street of row houses. This one's not a dead end though. These are like my favorite types of streets in the city here. Toronto doesn't get enough credit as a row house city when I think it really should. It's not like solidly row houses like Philadelphia or Baltimore, but it's definitely up there, I would say, among major Eastern North American cities that exhibit that type of vernacular. I think it's the only major city on the Great Lakes that has a large number of row houses. So yeah, this is all row houses here as well. They all might look different from each other, but they are connected. Here's an example of the Bay and Gable, which is a housing vernacular that's pretty unique to Toronto. I think there are some in Hamilton as well, but Toronto is by far known as the home of the Bay and Gable houses. And I'll just talk over this music as it goes by. Cross Street. Yes, it is a cross street. Perfect name for a street that happens to actually do what its name says. You'll find these signs around the neighborhood. This is Alexander Muir, Gladstone Avenue Public School. It is the church on Gladstone. Yes, it certainly is. I think this at one time was a little corner store. And this is still not quite a corner store, but at least it's a bit of a cool little destination for the neighborhood. Coffee and bikes. It's a very, very colorful yard. And a nice little house too. This little row has, each one has their own color. That's a thing you find in Toronto all the time also. Wow, I kind of like this end of Gladstone Avenue here. I think it has a lot of character. Well, that should be a neat little cafe or something. Hopefully it will be. I never noticed that sky bridge connecting those two new residential towers over there. Or mid-rises, really. It's over on Dufferin Street. Looks like this side here is in need of some renovations. And here's a Freshco. I think this used to be a Price Chopper, which is a discount grocery store chain, as is Freshco. And when I first moved to Toronto over 10 years ago, I lived in this end of town briefly for about a month or so, just renting a room. And I came to this grocery store, I think, one time. And to this day, it remains one time.
So I noticed some of the tiles fucked up in the corner.
And here we are at Queen Street. So I think as I cross, I will wrap up the video here. So I hope you enjoyed the walk along Dundas West and then up to College Street. And then along College, and then I'm checking out Meghan's old apartment, and then a walk down Gladstone Street here, ending at the Gladstone House, or the Gladstone Hotel, as it's otherwise known. It's a local landmark. So leave a comment below, like and share and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal and also via my new merch store. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And you can also find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.